All right. Well, we're back here on the Bako Motorsports Power Hour talking with Blake Bowser. We earlier tempted Scott Schweitzer of Bakersfield Speedway with a piece of equipment that he covets most.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what he said.
He said it was a Caterpillar.
A new grader.
Yeah, right.
A new Caterpillar grader.
Show that. Chris, can you show the air dryers at Daytona? Just show you those big Titan trucks. It's very early, so you get to it. Just throw it up there.
Man, they've been using those lately, haven't they?
They have been. Yeah. That's what happens when you run in the South, I guess. So you're going to have those issues. Look at those things.
Well, it's a good thing
they found out those things are way more effective than jet dryers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
It's just compressed air. So
you can do
burning
two,
whatever fuel's on board.
You can do 2 of those. We'll get 2 of those for you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We gotta get that figured out for Blake. That would make having one of those would do well. Actually, would that be helpful, or a upgraded? What's the rubber thing you guys use? The tractor for the rubber?
Zamboni.
The Zamboni.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But we only need to use it. Most important races once a year, so we.
All right, here's
I can just borrow one of those.
You guys are quiet now until August.
Yeah,
so we're taking a month off. Okay,
yes.
You're going to be gone. You're going to go to Hawaii. We'll talk about that in a minute.
We're going to spend a couple weeks there. Yeah.
When we were out there, Gary Densham made the claim that you and your father have done a fantastic job. It's a great video. We have it on our Facebook page. We'll try to re-highlight this, but he made the claim that you and your dad have done a great job, and that Famoso was ready for a national event. Do you agree or disagree with that?
He said
qualified.
He qualified that.
Yeah.
He said from the track's preparations that it was capable of holding a national event. He said the only thing they need to do is get new bleachers in here, because when he sits in the stands, he's getting the same splinters in his butt that he got in 1964.
Right.
Yeah. My answer would be I think we do have 2 national events out there.
Right.
We have the March Meet and the Reunion, and that is the 2 biggest races for nostalgia racers in the world. So we're happy doing what we do.
But what did he say? I think his point was that he could come and test the big show car there because it's a national quality track.
The quarter mile has always been that. They years ago, they used to do what was called the Bud Warm up there, and Perdome and all the hitters came and tested, and they could take that data and go from there to Pomona, their first race of the year, and it translated. Mm-hmm. It made sense to come test there. So we've always tried to do that. Always try to give them a track that they can learn from.
Right.
You want to take the track out of the variables. You don't want to have. You got enough variables you're trying to test.
Right.
If you don't want to have the track be in that equation, so if you give them as good surface as you can, they can truly come there and test.
Right.
So
I mean that's kind of like the throwdown, though. I think in some ways too for you. I mean personally. I mean you're right. You host the March Meet is truly special and unique, and not I wouldn't say a national event. It's an international event,
Absolutely.
Which is what we talked to Jim from Good Vibrations about.
Jim Mayer,
Jim Mayer is that the reason why they sponsored you guys was because it's an international event.
Yeah.
People come from all over the world.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I take what Gary says as a compliment, certainly,
absolutely.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's good feedback to know we're going down the right road.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting when you got a guy that comes in. They come no matter what.
Yeah.
But they're bringing their big show car, and he's like, you can host a national event here, Blake. You can do it. I mean, does that get in your mind? Say maybe to creep up to NHRA or have a major sponsor say, oh, we'll take something after Pomona, or turn the March Meet back into a super event.
I think it would take. An event somewhere else not happening, because we are so close to a lot of national events. 2 in Pomona, 1 in Sonoma, 2 in Vegas, 1 in Phoenix. That's a lot of national events close to us.
Right.
That's why the March Meet and the Reunion work, because they're different in scope. So, but no, it's cool. And that same weekend, Dale and Chuck Worsham were here with their car licensing a guy, and he got his license. I mean, just in one day on Friday. Then they stayed for Saturday just to thank us for giving them a good racetrack, and they made a run Saturday night out there too. So same thing from them. Chuck said, "Man, I've been all over the country, every track, and this is as good as it gets right here."
Right.
So that's cool to hear.
That says something. Where their Saturday Night Nitro, you had 4 big show funny cars. You had half a dozen front motor cars show up all of a sudden, and they had their own little race
shootout. Yeah.
And you had the fuel altereds there. This thing's turned into more just than the funny cars.
It is. We talked about that. I don't know if that was on the show or in person at the event. It's and you guys addressed it last week. it's time for us to reassess this event. It's turned into an event.
Right.
It was supposed to be a Saturday night deal and get together and burn some nitro and go home, but now it's
Well, I think
it's
that's why
turning into
everybody.
an event.
Yeah.
They said it's an event, but they all like the idea of get there, burn some nitro, and go home.
Yeah,
They like the one-day
right.
event. I think
And that's the
as long
balance.
as you don't get too many, and
Yeah.
it's just a fun little the
Yeah.
quick 2 come back or the
Exactly.
quick 8 come back or whatever. It
Yeah.
makes for a fun little night.
Yeah, and that's the balance there. You got to keep it that Saturday night show, but satisfy enough cars and bring in enough fans.
And that
That's
was
always
the
fun.
and that was the only thing I think that we and I talked a little bit about. I thought the fans were. I thought it was a great crowd, especially compared to the IndyCar crowd that was at
Yeah.
Fontana that night.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah, they had a
They had 3,000
yeah,
yeah.
at Fontana.
Yeah.
That's
it was
tough.
because you guys had the
I'm not gonna comment
you had
on
the
that.
you had the carload deal and
Yeah.
but it looked like a pretty good sized crowd. And then Mike made the point too that there was a lot of campers there on the other side
Yeah,
of the track.
It's just slowly gaining traction
Yeah.
as far as the racers responded first. They came out originally from the first one. They were there.
Right.
It's the fans now are slowly starting to figure out this is kind of fun. We can stay out there all weekend and we always try and team up our Saturday night shows with something happening. Like our one in September is going to be during a heritage race, a fun Ford weekend. And we got the Pro Mods coming back. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Now, on the September
that-
race, are you thinking about as well of having fuel altereds and the
Yeah,
front
we
motor
will.
cars if they want to come back?
Yeah, actually, Tom, the owner of the high-speed car, the one that Bill Dunlap drives, he's put together a little shootout for the front motor cars. He's putting up a couple $1,000 for the low ET for the week or the night. So we will have a funny car shootout. We're going to have a fuel altered. Probably going to have maybe another 6 or 8 of those, and then another 4 or 5, 6 front motor cars. So again, we'll hit 30, 35 nitro cars on the property. It'll be a good deal.
It'll be a great night for sure.
Yeah,
You're getting ready to take a vacation, and the vacation will be to Hawaii. And you said
right.
you're going to try to get out and see some of the tracks there.
Yeah, well, we're going to the Big Island, Hawaii, and there's a drag strip in Hilo. So it's an IHRA track, but hey, you never know what you might learn. Go into a facility and
Certainly the views
And,
will be nice.
be a little better than what we see sometimes out there. But
Yeah,
I doubt we'll see the nitro cars that we see at our track. It'll
No,
be fun to go visit.
What do they run out there? Do they just
Everything.
Everything.
Oh yeah, no, they run alcohol cars and bracket racing, street
Nice.
racing, everything.
Nice.
So yeah,
Uh,
most of the tracks do over there.
Looking at this success that you've had, I think Anra is the one that kind of stands out in my mind, where Butch has got 250 to 300
Yeah.
cars. Is this sport growing? Is it maintaining? Is it declining? What is your assessment of where the sport's going right now?
Well, overall, drag racing is the number 2 fan sport behind NASCAR.
Right.
They're the leaders, obviously. So it's going through an adjustment period, I think, right now. It's certainly not what it used to be. However, on our side, we are growing in the nostalgia side. That's why I keep referring back to us having 2 national events.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
we're seeing growth in that area.
Right.
We saw growth all through the downturn in the economy because people were staying home trying to find something to do.
Right.
They weren't taking off and taking trips. They were staying home. And they rediscovered the track. So the nostalgia side is growing tremendously. I mean, it's just, I couldn't put a number on it. It's out of control.
Well, especially
NHRA Big Show side is it's suffering a little
Yeah.
bit, but so is corporate America and everything else. So that happens.
Yeah, it feels like with the NHRA, they're. It's interesting. I read a thing about comparing NHRA to NASCAR, and how NASCAR.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, NASCAR has significantly better TV revenue
Sure.
and funding and things like that.
Yeah,
And
but they're down in attendance too.
they're down
They
in
are
attendance
as well.
too, and their ratings are kind of all over the place at times.
Right.
And it doesn't help when you have a race that starts at midnight and then ends at
No.
3:00 in the morning. So it's great the next day because it was definitely a water cooler conversation. But
Yeah.
NHRA is the question is how do you grow the sport and how do you move it forward?
And I
So,
think we're going to see some attempts. We have a new person in charge there, Peter Clifford, who's a great friend of ours, a real good friend to their track. And Peter and I have lunch a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So he really likes what we're doing up here. And we get together and I say, what can we do? How
Right.
can we fix things even more here? And he's just keep doing what you're doing. So he's real happy. See, NHRA is involved in the track on the paperwork.
Right.
Kern County Airports owns the land that we operate on.
Mm-hmm.
NHRA has the lease in the property, and we sublease from them. So we work with NHRA all the time. Anything we do, improvements that require outside help, we go to them first.
Okay.
They've got all the experts.
Right.
They help us put in the track. They help us with the experts that know how to put concrete down and all the.
So they obviously have
it's all there. They've been through it all. Why
They have
would I
a
wanna
vested
go out?
interest in when you guys be
Absolutely.
successful. Okay.
When we do well, they do well as far as reputation. They're not financially involved at all.
Right.
All the burden's on us as far as the risk.
Exactly.
But it just makes them. They do well with the reunion when it comes there. When they come to a decent racetrack, then they obviously can do very well with that.
How long is that?
So-
How long is that? Is that a long-term deal?
We actually, where are we at? We have on the current lease about 7 more years.
Okay.
It was a 20-year lease that we signed before we start doing all the major improvements.
Right.
But we're already in talks of renewing all that and keeping it going. So
So it's something you'll be making your way down to Pomona a few times and to kind of visit with those guys and say,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
yeah, definitely,
And
definitely.
the
So we're excited.
Hot Rod Reunion, I think the third weekend in October.
Yes.
The change for that, there's been a lot of grousing over the last couple of years on the comp. The NHRA tries to make it a lot of reunion and a little bit of racing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And so you used to get just 2 qualifying runs
Right.
for the
That's
field
changed.
cars.
Yeah.
And they have relented because
Yep.
there's been so much, because it's such a fine line. And
Yeah.
three runs is more fair. And so this year they're going to have 3 qualifying attempts. So there's actually
That's correct.
going to be a couple of field runs on Friday.
Friday,
and
yep.
it's early enough, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., so that they
Right.
still go do their Friday night thing at the hotel where they
Yep.
honor people from the past of drag racing. So
Yeah, Friday night's all their honorary big banquet there at the DoubleTree, and then Saturday, of course, the Cackle Fest. They want to finish 5 o'clock or so to get that stuff pulled off. So it's exciting.
But I think they did see the value in a little more racing,
Right.
even though it's
definitely.
a reunion
Yeah,
based.
yeah. The racing side is slowly, and that's just back to the explosion and the growth of nostalgia racing. There's just more and more cars that want to come, and
And these guys want
they
to
have
compete.
to accommodate them.
They want to compete. You know,
This is a national event for
Yep.
them. This is the last one of the year. It's their finals.
All right. Well, thanks, Blake Bowser, for joining us. This has been a great show. I mean, he said we didn't have anything to talk about. We just talked 15 minutes. Awesome. We'll be back next week. He won't be here. He's going to be in Hawaii, maybe. We'll be back next week, though, with the Power Hour.